FNAF World is one of the most underrated FNAF games of all time, recently gaining popularity as people go back and realize just how awesome this game is. However, this game definitely was not studied as hard as the other FNAF games, with misinformation everywhere and nowhere near as many guides about the AI or code of the game compared to the original FNAF games, despite being nearly just as old. Well, in this video, I am going to change that. I'll be going over everything you need to know about FNAF World, from basic information all the way down to the actual code behind it. This is a one-of-a-kind video as we dive into FNAF World. Everything has been timestamped in case you want to skip ahead, learn more about something specific, or just need a refresher. It's all here. So, without further ado, let's dive into this absolutely massive video, the FNAF World Ultimate Guide. So for starters, let's discuss what FNAF World is actually about. The game revolves around you leading a party of animatronics, dubbed the Adventure Animatronics, to go on an adventure to kill Scott. No, I'm not joking. But this game has you navigating around a world, collecting items, and leveling up while glitching into the code of the world to transport to different areas, and fighting bosses to beat the game. I'll discuss every ending later on in the video, but that's pretty much all you need to know about the game's story, if you can really say there is a story. Now, let's have a look at the map. The map of FNAF World is divided into 10 areas. I'm not counting the Halloween area. And the 10 areas are Fazbear Hills, Choppy's Woods, Dusting Fields, Lilligear Lake, Mysterious Mine, Black Tomb Yard, Deep Metal Mine, Pinwheel Circus, and whatever you call this, and the Pinwheel Funhouse. Each of these areas have their own unique enemies, bosses, chips, and unlockable characters. But each world is listed in order of general difficulty. Each world also has its own Lolbit the shop vendor, and some worlds have extra things as well. To travel between most of these worlds, you first need to find a glitch object and travel through the subworld. This is how you navigate around the map. I'll explain more about how to navigate this world in just a minute. For now, let's discuss the different warp objects and places to navigate the map. Just a note, once you have entered a world, or if they have one, press their respective button, the world can be travelled to via Fast Warp by pressing the numbers 1 to 6 on the right side of your screen. 4 of the worlds cannot be accessed through the Fast Warp, with 1 being Fazbear Hills, 2 being Choppy's Woods, 3 being Dusting Fields, 4 being Lilligear Lake, 5 being Black Tomb Yard, and 6 being Pinwheel Circus. Now onto the warps. The first warp is located on the left side of Fazbear Hills, next to the first Fredbear. Look out for the tree that is glitching, which is known as a glitched object. This warp and underneath section will lead you to Choppy's Woods. Hit the button to permanently activate the warp. Dusting Fields can just be walked into from Choppy's Woods, and once entered, you can enter permanently. The glitched rock next to the Ferris wheel is your ticket into Lilligear Lake. To access Black Tomb Yard, head into Lilligear Lake and go up until you reach a grassy area which is near the top of Choppy's Woods, and then go down to find the glitched tree, which you need to take to get to Black Tomb Yard. The mine area in Black Tomb Yard will lead you to the Deep Metal Mine. Go down until you find the glitched tombstone to warp into the Pinwheel Circus. The last main warp is located after Browboy, where going into the top green tent will allow you to enter the Pinwheel Funhouse. Now, I will end the video with a full guide on how to navigate the world when discussing the endings, but I will save that for the end. But a few more points. There exists, as well as glitched objects, false walls where you can walk through certain parts of the world that appear to be closed off to the player. The last thing I will discuss about the maps is the 3 entrances to the, I'm just going to call the True World. Located by the bird sitting on the stump in Choppy's Woods, the tombstone on the left side of Black Tomb Yard, and the northernmost stone next to the Dancing Shadow in Dusting Fields. I'll discuss where all these leads as the video goes on, but for now, let's move on to more of the inner workings of the game. So now that we have discussed the world, the map, and all of its quirks, let's talk about something that is pretty essential to the game: money. Arguably one of the most important parts of FNAF World.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold the phone. What do you mean the most important?
What? Who in God's name are you? And how did you get here?
Oh, I've been living in your basement for the last 3 months. The housing market has been really tough out there.
Okay, well, what are you doing here?
Well, I'm glad you asked. You see, as a money-hungry, burger-loving American capitalist myself, I know more about how money works than anyone else. Especially in FNAF World. so I'm gonna take over for Jerakai on this one. I mean, since he's from Australia, he probably doesn't even know what a penny is, let alone a Faz token.
Excuse me, what the fuck?
Faz tokens are the main currency of FNAF World, which can be collected and used in a variety of ways. The first way of collecting Faz tokens is by defeating enemies and bosses, which will reward you with a certain number of Faz coins based on the enemy. The second way is by finding chests around the map, with silver chests giving 10 coins and gold chests giving 50 coins. You use Faz tokens in order to buy Bytes mainly, but you can also use them to buy Endo upgrades from Mendo Endo's upgrade shop, as well as minigame attempts on DD's fishing hole. So, that's pretty much it. Money is very useful, but it's not very complicated. Well, since I'm here, I might as well talk about the rest of FNAF World.
No, get out of my house right now.
Aw, but I don't want to leave! The rent was so cheap, and the American housing market sucks right now!
Yeah, well, the Australian market is way worse. Get out. So now that we have discussed money, let's go over what you actually spend the money on, which is bytes. For starters, what are bytes? Bytes are items/entities that perform certain actions during battles, mainly damage or healing. You can have a maximum of 4 bytes during fights, and there are a total of 21 bytes in the game, with 2 secret bytes. Every byte costs a different amount and usually come in a set of 3, ranging from a certain price range. These bytes are sold by the Lolbit seller, titled Lolbit's Byte Store, in which there is one in most of the main worlds. So let's start in Fazbear Hills. Fazbear Hills Lolbit sells the bees, little bugs that throw stingers at the enemies, dealing damage. So let's start with the Gnat. The Gnat is sold for 25 Faz coins, and has a 1 in 3 chance to shoot a stinger every 2 seconds. The stinger deals between 15 and 24 damage per hit. The Neon Bee is sold for 75 Faz coins, and has a 1 in 3 chance to shoot a stinger per second, dealing between 15 to 24 seconds, which is the same as the Gnat. The last bee is the Neon Wasp, costing 150 Faz coins and has a 1 in 3 chance to shoot every 0.5 seconds, and does the same amount of damage as the Neon Bee and the Wasp, meaning that upgrading the bees just increases the speed of which they attack. The next Lolbit shop just before Lilligear Lake sells the Med Pods. The Med Pods are healers, not much else to say here. Medpod 1 sells for 25 Faz coins, healing the party between 5 and 14 health every 5 seconds, and it will always heal you every 5 seconds no matter what. Nothing can stop you from getting that sweet 5 HP. Medpod 2 sells for 100 Faz coins. This Medpod heals your entire party 10 to 19 HP every 5 seconds, just like Medpod 1. Mega Med sells for a whopping 500 Faz coins, and every 5 seconds heals your party between 25 and 34 HP, which, if I'm being completely honest, is not worth it. However, it is the best source of natural regeneration in the entire game. Next up are the Reapers, located in the Dusting Fields. These are just a bunch of little guys that have a chance to instantly kill any enemy in the game, including bosses, although you cannot use Reapers on Chiga's Magic Rainbow. So, starting with the Mini Reaper. The Mini Reaper costs 100 Faz coins. It has a 50% chance to throw a scythe every 5 seconds, with a 1 in 10 chance of it hitting an enemy and a 1 in 2,000 chance of it hitting a boss. The normal Reaper costs 500 Faz coins, having the same 50% chance to throw a scythe, but it's every 2.91 seconds instead of every 5 seconds, and it has the same chance to hit an enemy and boss as the Mini Reaper. Last but not least, the X Reaper costs a whopping 2,000 Faz coins, and the only difference is that its chance to throw a scythe is 50% every 0.89 seconds. So again, you're paying for speed. In the Mysterious Mine, we have the Block Bytes, which block base damage, basically the defense bytes. Block 5 costs 50 Faz coins, blocking 5 damage from attacks. Block 20 costs 500 Faz coins, blocking 20 damage from attacks. Block 50 costs 2,000 Faz coins, blocking 50 damage from attacks. The bomb bytes are found in the Black Tomb Yard, bytes that explode once during battle, dealing a bunch of damage. Pop Pop costs 99 tokens and deals 100 to 199 damage, having a 1 in 10 chance to explode every half second. Boom costs 999 tokens and deals 200 to 1099 damage and has a 1 in 10 chance every 0.41 seconds to explode. Kaboom costs a whopping 4,999 Faz coins and deals 1000 to 4999 damage with a 1 in 10 chance to explode every 0.67 seconds, easily the biggest damage attack from a bite. In the Deep Metal Mine, we have the Boss Drain, probably the most sought after bite in the entire game, only affecting bosses by slowly damaging them over time, damaging them every single frame. Boss Drain 1 costs 200 Faz coins and deals 1 damage every frame, so about 60 per second. Boss Drain 2 costs 1500 Faz coins and deals 2 damage every frame. Boss Drain X costs 5000 Faz coin, the most expensive bite in the game, and deals 3 damage every single frame. These are some powerful boys. The last of the main bites is found in the Pinwheel Circus, the UFOs, which act like the bees but shoot lasers instead of stingers. The mini foe costs 200 Faz coins, having a 1 in 3 chance to shoot every 3 seconds, dealing between 100 to 149 damage per hit. The UFO costs 500 Faz coins, with a 1 in 3 chance every 0.6 seconds and dealing the same amount of damage as the mini foe. The X-Foe costs 1500 Faz coins, with a 1 in 3 chance to shoot every 0.4 seconds and dealing the same damage as before. Again, you are paying for speed. Now that's all for the main bites. Next we have the 2 secret bites, which do not take up one of your 4 slots and once active, appear in every fight. The first one of these is the Pearl, which can be acquired by successfully catching the Pearl in DD's fishing minigame 5 times. This Pearl is a healer, healing the entire party between 15 to 23 HP every 5 seconds, acting like the med pods. Last, we have the Fan, which is unlocked after collecting all 48 characters in the game, having a 1 in 10 chance to shoot 20 lasers every 2 seconds, dealing 50 to 79 damage per laser, so a minimum damage is 1000 and maximum is 1580, with an additional 1 in 10 chance to deal an additional 1000 damage per laser, meaning if you succeed with every single laser, you can deal a whopping 21,580 damage, making it a very strong bite and probably the best in the entire game, which is a good reward for unlocking every character. And that is every single bite in the game. Now, on top of bites, you can also have another set of items along for the battle, and they are the chips. The chips are items found in set chests around the map, and grant unique properties in the form of a buff or attack. In total, there are 3 types of chips: green chips, gold chips, and red chips, with 7 of each type of chip, with 21 total chips to collect. Like the bites, you can only equip 4 at a time, so let's start with the green chips. Head Start Defense is first, and it is located behind the Auto Chipper boss in Fazbear Hills. This chip gives a defense boost to your party for 30 seconds. However, if your enemy uses a Gloom ability on you, it will remove the effect early, which is actually the case for most chips. It will block enemy attacks by 50%. Head Start Strength is located behind the Auto Chipper boss in Fazbear Hills, and gives a strength boost to your party for 30 seconds. Head Start Speed is located in Choppy's Woods near Lolbit and the Warp 4 point, and gives a 30 millisecond speed boost for 30 seconds. Evercomet Weak is located behind the Auto Chipper boss in Choppy's Woods and throws stars down on the enemy, dealing a small amount of damage between 25 to 35 damage per star. Quick Start Party is located in the Dusting Fields, and you can just walk to it straight from there. When active, enemies cannot attack the party for about 6 to 8 seconds at the start of the fight. Although this is important to note, the chip does not work on bosses. Block Jump Scare is located in Black Tomb Yard, next to the 3rd true entry gravestone. When active, your party will not be affected by the jump scare attack from enemies. Run Luck is located next to the Warp 4 point through a false wall. This chip allows you to have a higher chance to successfully run from enemies, although remember, you cannot run from bosses. Now onto the gold chips. The 3 Endless chips, Endless Defense, Endless Strength, and Endless Speed, work the same as they do in the Head Start versions, the only difference being that the effect lasts for the entire battle. Endless Defense is located in the Mysterious Mine from the topmost center entrance on the map. This chip is behind an eyesore boss. Endless Strength is in the same Mysterious Mine entrance as Endless Defense, except it is not guarded by an enemy, which is actually a bug. Endless Speed is located next to the World 2 warp point in the Mysterious Mine, and is immediately down and left once entered. It is guarded by an eyesore boss. Next we have Amber Comet Strong, which is located in the Dusting Fields Mysterious Mine and is a bit hard to get to. Once you enter the mine, go up past the rock in the second passage straight ahead from the entrance. Once there, turn left and take the bottom of the fork. Go to the passageway that goes down with the planks on it, go straight until you can't move anymore, and follow the path until you reach the chip. It is guarded by an eyesore. This move does the same damage as the weak version, except it's more frequent with its attacks. Auto gift boxes is located in the Dusting Field's mysterious mine entrance. Go up to where the red chest is hovering on the planks and turn left to find the chip, and it's guarded by an eyesore. This chip starts your parties off with gift boxes for all your party members. Auto regen is located directly after the fight with Brow Boy, healing your party the same amount as the move Regen Song, just for the entire fight. Find Characters is located in the deep metal mine next to Lolbit, guarded by a Mad Endo boss. This chip actually increases the odds of finding a new character after a battle, making the character grinding actually kind of manageable. Now we get on to the red chips, which are easily the strongest chips in the entire game, and most of them are hard to get to because they are just so well hidden. So let's go through them all. Curse Status applies all debuff effects on all enemies when the battle begins, including a strength, defense, and speed debuff. To find this chip, you need to go to the Pinwheel Circus and then walk into the green tent to warp into the deep metal mine. Following the path inside will lead you to the chip, which is guarded by a Mad Endo. Friddle Fury is located in the Black Tomb Yard. Accessing this chip is a bit of a journey. You actually have to enter through a false wall, which is located at the bottom of Lilygear Lake, through this mushroom barrier. Look for the green mushroom to get a better idea of where it is. Afterwards, you can just follow the path until you reach a gravestone, walk through it, and you will warp into a short path located in the deep metal mine. Follow the path to reach the chip. It is guarded by a Mad Endo. This chip acts like an infinite version of the Freddles attack, with Freddles constantly attacking during battle. Auto Shield is a very powerful chip, putting a permanent neon wall which always blocks 50% of all damage, and blocks moves like Alarm. This chip is the first located in the True World. Located near the jump point in Choppy's Woods, look for the birds sitting on the stump. Approach the stump from the south and hold up until you glitch through and enter the True World. Then you will be able to walk towards Lilygear Lake, located right off the stump and located into the red chest in the middle of the lake. Auto Mimic gives the player a permanent Mimic Ball for the entire battle. Located in the Black Tomb Yard, find the tombstone in the left of the row of tombstones that allow you to enter the True World. Once entered, head left towards the Pinwheel Circus and continue until you reach the mysterious mine area. The red chest is sitting on top of wooden planks. The last chip located in the True World is Block Unscrew, which completely blocks the ability Unscrew and Escape Key from affecting your party. Find the Dancing Shadow in the Dusting Fields and clip through the northernmost rock near it. Head towards Fazbear Hills till you find the chip. Counter Bite is a chip that automatically attacks enemies with a bite ability whenever they attack. This chip is located directly after defeating Bubba. Enter the tent behind him, then take the tent directly down. Next, there should be a false wall on the left before the next tent. Go through that and follow the path to another tent which exits at the chest. Finally, we have Pizza Fury, which acts like the Friddle Fury attack, but with the pizza wheel attack. To find this chip, head to Choppy's Woods. In the lower right hand corner of Choppy's Woods, below the tent to Pinwheel Circus, there is a path of false trees. Simply follow the path downwards, and after a battle with a Mad Endo, there is a chest at the end of the path. And that is every single chip in FNAF World explained, and pretty much every single part of the actual world explained. Now we can start to talk about the various enemies, bosses, and characters in the world, as well as the various attacks that you can use as well. Now before we discuss the enemies and characters of FNAF World, I want to start by going through every single attack in the game and explain how they work and what they do, since it's not always clear, since there's barely any description of what they do. So let's begin with the basics. There are a few code words I'm going to explain before we move forward, as it will make it way easier for me to explain things going forward, as well as save time on this long ass video. So for starters, random brackets is referring to the random number pool. For example, random 0 to 12 means that it will generate a number between 0 and 12. Cap stands for current attack power, which is made up of the current level, which refers to the character's in-game level, times the multiplier. The multiplier is set to 1 by default and will be set to 2 if you have a strength boost or if the enemy has low defense, and it will be set to 4 if both of these are true. The last thing is area. Every single realm and location has an area number, meaning the higher that this number is, the more effective the moves. The area numbers were explained at the very start of the video. And that's everything. Let's get into the attacks. Mic Toss is a basic attack where a microphone is thrown at the enemy and does a low amount of damage. The amount of damage dealt is calculated through the equation of cap plus 10 plus random 0 to 4, meaning if the character is a level 1 character, the attack will do between 11 and 15 damage. Bite is a basic attack where you, bite. Like the Mic Toss, it uses the formula of cap plus 20 plus 0 random to 4, with a level 1 character dealing between 21 to 25 damage. Hook is another basic attack where a hook does a small amount of damage. The formula is cap plus 15 plus random 0 to 4, dealing between 16 to 20 damage. I-beam is an attack where a red beam does damage to an enemy. The formula is a bit different, with it being cap times 2 plus 50 plus random 0 to 29, with the level 1 character doing between 52 and 81 damage. However, there is also a 1 in 10 chance for this attack to do an additional 1000 damage. Bite 2 is pretty much the exact same as Bite 1, except the formula is cap plus 200 plus random 0 to 49, dealing between 200 and 249 damage for a level 1 character. Pizza Wheel is an attack that throws 3 to 6 pizza at the enemy, each doing cap plus 1 plus random 0 to 1 damage. Bash Jam is an attack that throws a bunch of music notes at the enemy. The attack formula is cap plus 10 plus random 0 to 19 plus random 0 to 5, so for a level 1 character, this attack will do 10 to 34 damage. Jump Scare is a debuff move which stuns enemies for a varied amount of time, stunning normal enemies for 2 to 8 seconds and stunning bosses for 1 to 3 seconds. Jump Scare also cancels out enemies' special attacks, which I will talk about later. Balloons is an attack which spawns 3 balloons and throws them at the enemy. The attack formula is cap plus random 0 to 2 plus 5 times random 0 to 3 plus 1, which is super complicated for a basic attack, literally only dealing between 6 to 32 damage for a level 1 character, which is a wide range but not worth it personally. Swing Locks is a massive jump in damage, being an attack that spawns a swing Bonnie head on the opponent and does crazy damage. The formula is cap plus 201 plus random 0 to 999, dealing between 202 to 1201 for a level 1 character. Cupcake is our first healing move of the game, and is definitely one of the weaker heals, with only the starting Chigas having this move, 2 of the arguably worst characters in the entire game. The formula for this move is current level times 2 plus 30 plus random 0 to 9 plus random 0 to 4. God damn, that's a bit. But for a level 1 character, this translates to healing between 32 to 45 health. Happy Gem is another healing ability, and it actually works very similar to Cupcake, with the formula being current level times 2 plus 30 plus random 0 to 19 plus random 0 to 4. So best case scenario, a max heal would be 55 health, a whole 10 extra health for taking on Scott. Next up, we have Party Favors, which is probably the track of all trade move since it damages the enemy and heals your party at the same time. The formula to calculate this is current level plus 1 plus random 0 to 4, so a level 1 character is dealing between 1 to 5 damage, which is pretty bad, so level Freddy up I guess. Happy Jam 2 is similar to Happy Jam 1, but it's just way better. Seriously, all the second variations of moves are way more powerful than their base move. But anyways, the formula for this move is current level plus 75 times 2 plus 20 plus random 0 to 19 plus random 0 to 4. So a level 1 character will be healing their party between 170 to 193, which is way better than before. Our last trait healing ability is Regen Song, which is a bit of an extended healer, healing the area of effect every 5 seconds for a total of 11 times. The amount you get healed is determined by 1 plus random 0 to 4, so not very good healing, but it's okay for early game if you want to make sure that you're healing while also attacking. Now we can get into our 3 toxic attacks, which all use the poison effect, which works like this. Every 0.5 seconds, there is a 1 in 8 chance that the poison effect will damage the enemy, determined by this equation. Area times 2 plus 10 plus random 0 to 19. Toxic Balloon is the most simple of these moves, just inflicting poison damage, 5 to 10 times before stopping. Also, if you use this move multiple times, the poison timer carries over and stacks. Toxic Bite is a bite attack that also inflicts poison damage. The formula is 25 plus random 0 to 24, dealing between 25 to 49 damage, as well as inflicting poison 5 to 10 times. However, unlike Toxic Balloon, using this move twice does not carry over and instead resets the poison timer completely. Toxic Bite 2 works the same as Toxic Bite, except the damage is higher, determined by Cap plus 150 plus random 0 to 49, dealing between 150 to 199 damage for a level 1 character. Its poison effect is the same as Toxic Bite 1, except instead of 5 to 10 times, it's 5 to 8 times. Bad Pizza is a move where a giant rotten pizza falls from the sky and hits your opponent. The damage is determined by Cap plus 1 plus random 0 to 699, dealing anywhere between 2 and 701 damage for a level 1 character. Talk about a large range of attack. So now we have a bunch of status effects, which actually work way differently than you think they do, but let's first go through the debuffs. Gloom Song is up first, and it decreases enemy attack power by 50% for 30 seconds when applied. Interestingly, due to a bug, if the damage boost on your team is off, the attack power is decreased by 57%. The move Gloom Balloon does the exact same as Gloom Song and has the same bug. Sludge is interesting, as it actually increases enemy speed charging intervals by only 30 milliseconds, which isn't actually that much time. It also lasts for 30 seconds. Rainy Day increases your cap by 50% for 30 seconds. Now, you would be surprised to learn that enemies don't actually have a defense stat, so any defense debuffs you use on an enemy instead increase your party's strength rather than lower your enemy's defense. Rainy Day 2 works the same as before, except lightning has a chance to strike every 0.27 seconds, while the crowds are visible, dealing cap plus 5 plus random 0 to 4 damage when it hits. Also, unlike the Rainy Day effect, it lasts for 60 seconds. Birthday is a simple move, as all it does is boost strength, speed, and defense for 10 seconds. Power Song is another simple move, increasing your party's cap by 50%, and it lasts for 60 seconds. Armor Song is another simple move, decreasing the damage of enemy bash attacks by 50%, and it lasts for 50 seconds. Speed Song decreases the speed charging interval for your party by 30 milliseconds, and lasts for 50 seconds. Now we have Cosmic Song, an attack that shoots 7 to 11 stars every 0.25 seconds. Interestingly, if the enemy target is in the process of moving to hit you, they won't get damaged. The amount of damage is determined by cap plus 25 plus random 0 to 9, with an additional 100 damage being added when the last star is summoned, so dealing about 25 to 24 damage per star plus the 100 for a level low on character. Hot Cheese is a fan favorite, and the way that it works is a bit complicated. Once you use the attack, 3 cheese puddles will spawn. Each puddle lasts for 61 seconds, with a max of 10 cheese puddles spawning in total. The puddles have a 1 in 5 chance every 0.25 seconds to select an overlapping target to damage, dealing damage based on current level plus 5 plus random 0 to 4, which is for 1 puddle, so the more puddles you have, the more damage that will be applied, with a level 1 character dealing between 5 to 9 damage per hit. Munchies, despite making me laugh every time I hear the name, spawns some sort of endo bear trap which has a 50% chance to bite every 0.5 seconds, and will disappear after 3 bites, dealing cap plus 5 plus random 0 to 4 damage per bite. Freddles is a very fun move, spawning a ton of Freddles that bash into the enemy. 5 to 14 Freddles are spawned per attack, and each Freddle has a 1 in 3 chance to bite every 0.1 seconds when it's overlapping a target, dealing cap plus 20 plus random 0 to 9 damage per hit, so between 21 to 30 damage for a level 1 character. Poppers is an interesting move, as it's more of a build-up move than anything else. Every use it spawns 3 to 8 poppers, and once the number of poppers equals 10 or higher, it will explode every 10-second interval, dealing cap plus 50 plus random 0 to 49 plus random 0 to 4. Hot Cheese 2 is a more powerful version of Hot Cheese. It spawns 7 cheese puddles per attack with a 1 in 5 chance to hit an overlap target every 0.25 seconds, doing damage based on current level plus 53 plus random 0 to 3, doing between 54 to 57 damage for a level 1 character. Puddles last for 61 seconds. And now we have the prize ball attacks, which are pretty much do the exact same thing, which is spawn a random attack from a certain selection of attacks, which both work the same and different to their main attacks. So starting with prize ball, here are all the moves. Poppers, which has a 1% chance of appearing and does an instant damage attack of 99 to 198. Cupcake, which has a 13% chance to appear, which acts the same as it does normal, except the current level value gets randomized 0 to 49, meaning you could get a level 49 Cupcake effect if you're lucky. Water Hose shows up 13% of the time and acts as usual, I'll explain later. Munchies shows up 15% of the time and acts the same. Jumpscare shows up 20% of the time and stuns both enemies and bosses for 2.7 seconds, making it more effective than normal Jumpscare against bosses. Birthday shows up 20% of the time, and each boost lasts for 10 to 19 seconds. Lastly, Hot Cheese will appear 16% of the time, dripping 5 puddles with a damage output being 23 plus random 0 to 22. Prizeball 2 has a different moveset with more powerful moves being on the table, and unlike the original, every move has a 1 in 9 chance of being chosen. The moves are Balloons, which spawns 5 balloons instead of 3, Toxic Balloon, Rainy Day 2, Gloom Balloon, Unscrew 2, which has a slight speed boost, Poppers, which you instantly explodes, dealing between 99 to 198 damage, Pizza Wheel 2, throwing 3 to 6 pizzas, dealing cap plus 6 plus random 0 to 1 for the formula, Water Hose 2, and finally, Freddles. Next, we have the 2 mystery box moves, which will give you a completely new set of characters from a certain list based off their identity number, which goes from 1 to 48, and is based off the roster in the character select menu. Again, I'll explain this later. This is by far the most complicated move in the entire game, since there's a lot going on behind the scenes, but I'll do my best to explain. Every character in a party has a slot from 1 to 8, with each slot being its own pool of characters to choose from. Slot 1 has characters 2 to 21, Slot 2 has characters 6 to 25, Slot 3 has characters 10 to 29, Slot 4 has characters 14 to 33, Slot 5 has characters 2 to 21, Slot 6 has characters 6 to 25, Slot 7 has characters 10 to 29, and Slot 8 has characters 14 to 33. There's a bunch of additional RNG that affects what the number pooled is, but it's basically just a bunch of random numbers mixed together. Mystery Box 2 has the same effect, except that there's a larger pool of characters. Slot 1 has the characters 10 to 29, Slot 2 has the characters 14 to 33, Slot 3 has the characters 18 to 37, Slot 4 has the characters 22 to 41, Slot 5 has the characters 10 to 29, Slot 6 has the characters 14 to 33, Slot 7 has the characters 18 to 37, and Slot 8 has characters 22 to 41. 41 is actually the ID of Jacko Bonnie. However, the chance of getting this character in a Mystery Box 2 pool is 1 in 200,000. Comment below if you've ever gotten Jacko Bonnie before. Now we have the insta-kill moves, starting with Escape Key. Escape Key basically deletes enemies if it hits, and it's super simple. It has a 1 in 6 chance or 16.67% chance to kill enemies, and a 1 in 100 chance or 1% chance to kill bosses. Unscrew works in a similar way, except it shows the opponent getting, well, unscrewed. There's a 1 in 3 chance for it to kill enemies and a 1 in 60 chance for it to kill bosses, or 1.67% chance. Unscrew 2 has the same effect as Unscrew, except it's a 50% chance for it to kill enemies and a 1 in 50 chance for it to kill bosses, or a 2% chance. Next up, we have Pizza Wheel 2, which throws 3 to 6 pizzas at the opponent, dealing cap plus 21 plus random 0 to 1 damage, which is about 21 to 22 damage for level 1. Water Hose is another simple insta-kill move, killing enemies under 33% health, while Water Hose 2 kills enemies under 50% health. Both Water Hose moves don't work on bosses. Haunting is a move that can turn your enemies to stone, having a 50% chance to stone the enemy every 0.25 seconds when the Freddy Ghost overlaps the enemy. The amount of time the enemy is frozen is between 5 to 29 seconds, and it also sets the enemy's speed counter from a number from 1 to 10. Endo Army is one of the best attacks in the game, spawning 3 endos which shoot lasers at the enemy. Every 0.25 seconds, there's a 50% chance for one of the endos to begin firing. Once active, every 50 milliseconds, a value of 1 to 3 is added to a counter. Once this counter reaches 1000, the endos will despawn, lasting on average about 25 seconds. Lasers will do a set amount of damage regardless of level, going 50 to 79 damage per hit with a 1 in 10 chance to add 1000 bonus each hit. Neon Wall puts up a shield which blocks attacks. It reduces enemy attack damage by 50%, but it also has the same defense bug mentioned before. The shield lasts for 30 seconds and will completely block the alarm tag, though alarm orbs will decrease the duration of the wall by 3 seconds. Mimic Ball spawns a little guy which mimics the moves you make, so if you use 4th Wall, he uses it again. The only attacks it won't mimic is itself or Mystery Box. It also won't mimic the same attack twice in a row. Gift Boxes is probably one of the most broken moves in the entire game, completely reviving players and giving alive players a gift box which will allow them to automatically revive if they die. Mega Bite is an extension of the bite attacks, with the attack formula being cap times 2 plus 300 plus random 0 to 99, dealing between 302 to 401 for a level 1 character. Now we have the Halloween character exclusive moves, or the most powerful moves in the game. So let's start with Slasher, the strongest attack in the entire game, with a 1 in 10 chance to do 99,999 damage, which is enough to one-shot every enemy and boss in the entire game except for Chipper's Revenge and the Rainbow. Next is Fourth Wall, which is an attack where a blue bar smashes into a party, dealing 3000 plus random 0 to 2999 damage. Jacko-Bomb throws a bunch of Jack-O-Lanterns at the enemy, throwing one every 0.2 seconds with a total of 14, each one doing between 0 to 999 damage each. Bubble Breath is a move that allows the party to be immune to the toxic air effect for 30 to 59 seconds. This move also stacks. Balloons 2 spawns 30 balloons, which is a huge upgrade from Balloons Pathetic 3. The formula for each balloon is a bit complicated. Cap times 2 plus 55 plus random 0 to 2 times random 0 to 3 plus 1. This makes Balloons 2 the only Halloween move which is actually affected by levels. Each balloon for a level 1 character will do between 58 to 175 damage. Buzzsaw throws a Buzzsaw, and any enemy it actually hits, it will do 99 times random 0 to 9 damage. Mega Virus is an attack which infects the enemies with a virus which damages them, similar to poison. Every 0.25 seconds, there's a 50% chance for the move to choose a target. Once a target is chosen, it deals 99 times random 0 to 9 damage, which is applied every 0.25 seconds if the chance hits. The attack lasts for 50 seconds and the move stacks. Hocus Pocus is an interesting attack as it has a 50% chance to turn a strong enemy into a much weaker enemy with the enemy type, which acts similarly to the character ID, being divided by random 0 to 4 plus 2 to decide the enemy. And finally, Neon Wall 2, which makes you completely invincible to damage for 5 seconds, but it doesn't block insta-move kills. And that's every attack in the game. Well, except for a few enemy exclusive attacks, but instead of explaining them now, let's go over the different enemies in the game and discuss all the unique attacks that they can come up with. So, let's get into it. Now, for the sake of this video, I'll be discussing each enemy in alphabetical order, and start with the base enemies until we move on to the bosses. So, let's begin. Period, upper arrow, and yes, this is the first enemy, and yes, that's his name. This enemy is one of the 3 main enemies located in the true world, with a 33% chance to encounter them. Note, every single enemy has a 33% chance to encounter them. They have 3,135 health on normal mode and 6,270 health on hard mode. This enemy uses the basic enemy attack, dealing 100 to 104 damage on normal and 200 to 204 damage on hard mode, as well as the attack Alarm. Alarm is one of the strongest enemy attacks in the game, shooting out 5 flashing balls that deal 9,999 damage to individual party members, resulting in 5 instantly killed team members if it is not blocked, which you will need a shield ability in order to block the attack. Upon death, they drop 23 to 38 Phas tokens and drop 125 XP on normal and 250 on hard mode. Exclamation point 2222 is the second enemy in the true world. They have 3,390 health on normal and 6,780 health on hard mode, and deal between 104 to 108 damage on normal and 208 to 212 on hard mode when dealing the basic attack, and has the ability Fourth Wall. Upon death, they drop between 23 to 38 Phas tokens and 130 XP on normal and 260 on hard mode. Glitched Enemy 3 is the third and final enemy in the true world. On normal mode, they have 2,890 health and deal between 96 to 100 damage, while on hard mode they have 5,780 health and deal between 192 to 196 damage when using the basic attack, and they also have the ability Snowball. Upon death, they drop 23 to 38 Phas tokens and 120 XP on normal and 240 on hard mode. Ball Boy is a common enemy found in the Pinwheel Circus. They have 2,655 health on normal and 5,310 health on hard mode. They deal between 92 to 96 damage on normal and 184 to 188 damage on hard mode. Upon death, they drop between 20 to 35 Phas tokens and 115 XP on normal and 230 on hard mode. Bear Trap are a basic enemy found in the Black Tomb Yard. They have 1,290 health on normal and 2,580 health on hard mode. They deal between 64 to 68 damage on normal mode and 128 to 132 damage on hard mode. Upon death, they drop between 14 to 29 Phas tokens and 80 XP on normal and 160 XP on hard mode. Black Trap are a version of the Bear Trap found in the Deep Metal Mine. They have 2,010 health on normal and 4,020 health on hard mode. They deal between 80 to 84 damage on normal and 160 to 164 on hard mode. Upon death, they drop between 17 to 32 Phas tokens and 100 XP on normal and 200 XP on hard mode. They also have the move Escape Key, which for enemies has a 50% chance to inflict 5,000 damage on multiple party members. Bounce Pop are a common enemy found in the Fazbear Hills, with a 33% chance to encounter them. They have 15 health and deal between 4 to 8 damage on normal mode, and have 30 health and deal between 8 to 12 damage on hard mode. They drop between 0 to 15 Phas tokens and drop 5 XP on normal and 10 on hard mode. The Bounce Pot is probably one of the easiest enemies in the entire game, although according to the Android port, they caused the Bite of 87. Box Bite are an enemy located in the Dusting Fields. They have 190 health and deal 24 to 28 damage on normal and 380 health and deal 48 to 52 damage on hard mode. They give out between 5 to 20 Phas tokens and 30 to 60 XP upon death. They have a chance to use the move Gloom. Chillax are an enemy located in the Dusting Fields. They have 255 health on normal and 510 on hard mode. They deal between 28 to 32 damage on normal and 56 to 60 damage on hard mode. They drop between 5 to 20 Phas tokens and drop 25 XP on normal and 70 XP on hard mode. Chop and Roll are an enemy encountered in Choppy's Woods and are also present in the Foxy Fighters minigame. They have 135 health on normal and 270 on hard mode. They deal between 20 to 24 damage on normal and 40 to 44 damage on hard mode. They drop between 2 to 17 Phas tokens and drop 25 XP on normal and 50 XP on hard mode. In Foxy Fighters, they have 61 health and deal 1 damage. Colossal are an enemy located in Lilygear Lake. They have 615 health on normal and 1230 health on hard mode. They deal between 44 to 48 damage on normal and 88 to 92 damage on hard mode. They also have the ability Water Hose, which works as normal. They drop between 8 to 23 Phas tokens and drop 55 XP on normal and 110 XP on hard mode. Crab Apple are a common enemy located in Lilygear Lake. They have 510 health on normal and 1020 health on hard mode. They deal between 40 to 44 damage on normal and 80 to 84 damage on hard mode. They have the move Hot Cheese. They drop between 8 to 23 Phas tokens and drop 50 XP on normal and 100 XP on hard mode. Dogfight is a common enemy located in the Pinwheel Circus. They have 2,430 health on normal and 4,860 health on hard mode. They deal between 88 to 92 damage on normal and 176 to 180 damage on hard mode. They have the attack Water Hose. They drop between 20 to 35 Phas tokens and they drop 110 XP on normal and 220 XP on hard mode. Flan is a common enemy located in the Dusting Fields. They have 330 health on normal and 660 health on hard mode. They deal between 32 to 36 damage on normal and 64 to 68 damage on hard mode. They have the attack Balloons. They drop between 5 to 20 Phas tokens and drop 40 XP on normal and 80 XP on hard mode. Gear Rats are a common enemy found in the Fazbear Hills, Choppy's Woods, and are also present in the Foxy Fighters minigame, with a 33% chance to encounter them in any world. They have 55 health and deal between 12 to 16 damage on normal mode and have 110 health and deal between 24 to 28 health on hard mode. They drop between 0 to 15 Phas tokens in Fazbear Hills and 2 to 17 Phas tokens in Choppy's Woods. They drop 10 XP on normal mode and 20 XP on hard mode. They also have a small chance to use Toxic Bite. In Foxy Fighters, they have 9 health and deal 1 damage. Like the Bounce Pot, they are one of the easiest enemies in the game. Gold Mine is a common enemy encountered in the Mysterious Mine. They have 990 health on normal and 1980 health on hard mode. They deal between 56 to 60 damage on normal and 112 to 116 damage on hard mode. They drop 25 Phas tokens and drop 0 XP. Graveweed are a common enemy encountered in the Black Tomb Yard. They have 1135 health on normal and 2270 health on hard mode. They deal between 60 to 64 damage on normal mode and 120 to 124 damage on hard mode. They also have the attack Gloom. They drop between 14 to 29 Phas tokens and drop 75 XP on normal and 150 XP on hard mode. Jungle is one of the enemies encountered in the Geist Lair, which is a DLC exclusive, with a 33% chance of encountering them. They have 13,530 health and deal between 208 to 212 damage on normal mode, and have 27,060 health and deal between 416 to 420 damage on hard mode. They drop 50 to 65 Phas tokens and give 260 XP on normal and 520 XP on hard mode. They have a large amount of moves that they can use, including Toxic Bite, Snowball, Jump Scare, Water Hose, Escape Key, Fourth Wall, and Alarm. Mech Crab is a common enemy encountered in the Fazbear Hills, as well as the Foxy Fighters minigame. They have 30 health on normal mode and 60 on hard mode. They deal between 6 to 12 damage on normal and 16 to 20 damage on hard mode. They drop between 0 to 15 Faz tokens and drop 10 XP on normal and 20 in hard mode. In Foxy Fighters, they have 2 health and deal 1 damage. Meringue are an enemy located in the Pinwheel Circus. They have 2,215 health on normal and 4,430 health on hard mode. They deal between 84 to 88 damage on normal and 168 to 172 damage on hard mode. They have the attack Snowballs. They drop between 20 to 35 Faz tokens and drop 105 XP on normal and 210 XP on hard mode. Metal Man is an enemy located in the Mysterious Mine. They have 855 health on normal and 1,710 on hard mode. They deal between 52 to 56 damage on normal and 104 and 108 damage on hard mode. They drop between 11 and 26 Faz tokens and drop 65 XP on normal and 130 XP on hard mode. Neon is one of the enemies encountered in the Geist Lair. They have 13,015 health and deal between 204 to 208 damage on normal and have 26,030 health and deal 408 to 412 damage on hard mode. They give out 50 to 65 Faz tokens and drop 255 XP on normal and 510 XP on hard mode. They have a large amount of moves that they can use, including Toxic Bite, Snowball, Jump Scare, Water Hose, Escape Key, Fourth Wall, and Alarm. Pigreen is the last of the enemies encountered in the Geist Lair. They have 14,055 health and deal 212 to 216 damage on normal, and have 28,110 health and deal 424 to 428 damage on hard mode. They give out 50 to 65 Faz tokens and drop 265 XP on normal mode and 530 XP on hard mode. They have, again, a large amount of moves that they can use, which is the same as before. Prototype are a common enemy encountered in the Black Tomb Yard. They have 1,455 health on normal and 2,910 health on hard mode. They deal between 68 to 72 damage on normal and 136 to 140 damage on hard mode. They have the attack Hot Cheese. They drop between 14 to 29 Faz tokens and drop 85 XP on normal and 170 XP on hard mode. Quarry is an enemy located in the Mysterious Mine. They have 730 health on normal and 1,460 health on hard mode. They deal between 48 to 52 damage on normal and 96 to 100 damage on hard mode. They drop between 11 to 26 Faz tokens and drop 60 XP on normal and 120 XP on hard mode. Red Bear is one of the best enemies in the entire game, and I really wish he was a playable character. Wait, Red Bear is a common enemy encountered in the Pinwheel's Funhouse, with a 33% chance of encountering them. They have 3,930 health and deal between 112 to 116 damage on normal mode, and have 7,860 health and deal between 204 to 228 health on hard mode. They give out 26 to 41 Faz tokens and give out 140 XP on normal and 208 XP on hard mode. They have a chance to use Jump Scare. Rot are a common enemy located in the Deep Metal Mine. They have 1,815 health on normal and 3,630 health on hard mode. They deal between 76 to 80 damage on normal and 152 to 156 damage on hard mode. They have the attack Gloom. They drop between 17 to 32 Faz tokens and drop 95 XP on normal and 190 XP on hard mode. Seaweed is an enemy located in Lilygear Lake. They have 415 health on normal and 830 on hard mode. They deal between 36 to 40 damage on normal and 72 to 76 damage on hard mode. They have the attack Gloom. They drop between 8 to 23 Faz tokens and drop 45 XP on normal and 90 XP on hard mode. Tangle is an enemy encountered in the Pinwheel Funhouse, with a 33% chance to encounter them. They have 3,655 health and deal between 108 to 112 damage on normal, and have 7,310 health and deal between 216 to 220 damage on hard mode. They drop 26 to 41 Faz tokens and give 135 XP on normal and 270 XP on hard mode. They have the move Escape Key. Tombstack are an enemy located in the Deep Metal Mine. They have 1,630 health on normal and 3,260 health on hard mode. They deal between 72 to 76 damage on normal and 144 to 148 damage on hard mode. They have the attack Unscrew. They drop between 17 to 32 Faz tokens and drop 90 XP on normal and 180 XP on hard mode. Toltmole are a common enemy located in Choppy's Woods. They have 90 health on normal and 180 health on hard mode. They deal between 16 to 20 damage on normal and 32 to 36 damage on hard mode. They drop between 2 to 17 Faz tokens and drop 20 XP on normal and 40 XP on hard mode. White Rabbit is the last of the base enemies we'll be discussing, located in the Pinwheel Funhouse. They have 4,215 health and deal between 116 to 120 damage on normal, and have 8,230 health and deal between 232 and 236 damage on hard mode. They drop 26 to 41 fast tokens and give out 145 XP on normal and 290 XP on hard mode. They have a chance to use Jump Scare. And that is all of the base enemies in FNAF World. So to end off the enemies list, let's go over all the bosses in the game, which there are a lot of. Auto Chipper is the first boss possible to encounter, and there are two versions found in Fazbear Hills and the Choppy's Woods. He has a basic attack which deals 40 to 59 damage on normal mode and 80 to 118 on hard mode. He also has Jump Scare. He has 300 health on normal mode and 600 on hard mode. He has a speed of 100, which is the base speed, and gives 0 Faz tokens, and gives 200 to 400 XP in Fazbear Hills and 300 to 600 in Choppy's Woods depending on the difficulty. Bouncer is the first mandatory boss in FNAF World, guarding the entrance to the mysterious mine and sub-tunnel into Lilygear Lake. He has 1000 health on normal and 2000 health on hard mode. He deals 60 to 79 damage on normal mode and 120 to 158 damage on hard mode. He also uses the ability Jump Scare. He has a speed of 100. Upon death, he drops 0 Faz tokens and drops 450 XP on normal and 900 XP on hard mode. Bra Boy is a mandatory boss guarding the entrance to the Pinwheel Funhouse. He has 5000 health and deals between 250 to 349 damage on normal, and has 10,000 health, deals 500 to 698 health on hard mode. He has the attack Balloons and a speed of 100. Upon death, he drops no money, but drops 750 to 1500 XP respectively on normal and hard mode. Bubba is found in the Pinwheel Funhouse and is the main boss in the Funhouse and one of the necessary bosses to win the game. He has two attacks, the basic attack and Jump Scare. He has 15,000 health on easy and 30,000 health on hard mode. His speed is 100 and gives out 0 money and 15,000 XP on normal and 3,000 on hard mode. Chica's Magic Rainbow is the final boss of FNAF World, having the most health and dealing the most damage out of any enemy in the entire game, and is also the only enemy that needs to be defeated within a certain amount of time. Found in the Geist Lair, they have the highest amount of health with a whopping 500,000 health, and has two main ways of attacking. The first being the Mini Rainbows, which deal 999 damage, and the Rainbow Cannon, which deals 99,999 damage after 3 minutes of the fight beginning. They drop nothing upon death. Chipper's Revenge is one of the 4 final bosses in the game. He is found in the mysterious mine after getting the key from Pork Patch. Chipper has a very large number of abilities he can use as well as his main attack. He can use Toxic Bite, Water Hose, Snowball, Jump Scare, Escape Key, and even Fourth Wall, which is used most in hard mode. His basic attack deals between 3,000 to 3,099 damage on normal mode and 6,000 to 6,198 on hard mode. Chipper also has the second most health out of any enemy in the game, with a whopping 200,000 health. His speed is 75. He gives 1 Faz token and 1 XP upon death. Eyesore is a boss encountered frequently in the mysterious mine, guarding gold chests. They have 1,000 health on normal and 2,000 health on hard mode. They deal between 40 to 59 damage on normal and 80 to 118 damage on hard mode, as well as the attack Unscrew. They have a speed of 100 and drop 0 Faz tokens, 750 XP on normal and 1,500 XP on hard mode. Gold Endo is a secret boss located in the Pinwheel Funhouse. He has 20,000 health and deals 250 to 349 damage on normal mode, and has 40,000 health and deals 500 to 698 damage on hard mode. He has a speed of 100, giving no XP, but gives 500 Faz tokens on normal and 1,000 on hard. He has a chance to use Hot Cheese. Mad Endo is one of the 3 Endo bosses in the game, found in the Deep Metal Mine and Choppy's Woods, being one of the guards for various chests. They have 4,000 health and deal between 200 to 209 damage on normal mode, and 8,000 health and deal 400 to 418 damage on hard mode. They drop no Faz tokens but have various amount of XP. In the Deep Metal Mine, they drop 1050 XP on normal and 210 on hard, while on Choppy's Woods they drop 300 and 600 respectively. Overclock is one of the Guardians guarding a button to security, located in the Deep Metal Mine. On normal, he has 15,000 health and deals 200 to 299 damage, while on hard mode, it's 30,000 health and between 400 and 598 health. He has a speed of 10, making him the fastest character in the game, and he also has the attack Unscrew, which will always hit. Upon death, he drops no Faz tokens, but drops 1050 XP on normal and 2100 on hard mode. Pork Patch is one of the mandatory bosses, guarding the key and an important item for getting the most endings in FNAF World. He is found in the Lily Gear Lake, accessed through the underneath section, accessed in the Pinwheel Funhouse. He has 2 attacks, the basic, which does 450 to 549 on normal, and 900 to 1098 on hard mode, and Toxic Bite. He has 10,000 health on normal and 20,000 health on hard mode. He has a speed of 100 and gives 0 Faz tokens and 600 XP on normal, and 1,200 on hard mode upon death. Purple Geist is a fake placeholder boss for the Chica's Magic Rainbow, not much else to say here. Scott Cawthon is the main final boss in the hard mode variant of FNAF World, found up for security. Scott has 3 attacks. The basic attack, which deals between 1,000 to 1,499 on normal, and 2,000 to 2,998 on hard mode. He also uses Alarm and 4th Wall frequently. He has the 3rd most health in the game, which is 100,000 health, the same as security. His speed is 100 and he gives 1 Faz token and 1 XP upon death. Seagoon is a secret boss encountered in Lily Gear Lake. They have 2,000 health on normal and 4,000 health on hard mode. They deal 90 to 109 damage on normal and 180 to 218 damage on hard mode. They have the move Water Hose and a speed of 100. Upon death, they drop no money but drop 600 XP on normal and 1,200 XP on hard mode. Security is the main final boss in normal mode, and the second to last boss in hard mode, located in the Pinwheel Circus. He has 2 attacks, the basic attack which deals 999 to 1,997 damage on normal, and 1,998 to 3,994 on hard mode, as well as Alarm. He has 50,000 health on normal and 100,000 health on hard mode. He has a speed of 250, making him the slowest character in the game. They give 250 Faz tokens and 5,000 XP on normal mode, and 500 Faz tokens and 10,000 XP on hard mode. Snowcone is one of the guardians blocking the buttons to security. Located in the Dusting Fields, he has 15,000 health on normal and 30,000 health on hard mode. He deals 200 to 499 damage on normal and 400 to 998 damage on hard mode. He has a few extra abilities including Toxic Bite, Snowball, Jump Scare, Water Hose, and Escape Key. Their speed is 100. Upon death, they drop 0 Faz tokens, 450 XP on normal, and 900 XP on hard mode. Supergoon is the last of the guardians blocking the buttons of security, located in the Lily Gear Lake. They have 10,000 health on normal and 20,000 health on hard mode. They deal between 400 to 669 damage on normal and 800 to 1,398 damage on hard mode. They also have the moves Unscrew, Hot Cheese, and Escape Key. They have a speed of 25, and upon death, they drop 0 Faz tokens, 600 XP on normal, and 1,200 XP on hard mode. And that is every single enemy and boss in FNAF World broken down. Now let's move on from who we are facing to who we are playing as, the characters. So now we get on to the most important aspect of the entire video. Well, not actually, but it's up there. The characters. I will go through every single character and explain what their moves are, any quirks, where you can find them, and the chance of finding them in each areas for the game for those who actually apply, and anything else that you may need to know, like an overall ranking and which characters are best for what. So let's start with the 8 starter characters, starting with Freddy. Wait, who's this? Oh, come on!
Okay, so Freddy's the first FNAF World character up, and is basically like the main character in this game. He's your main hub world character that like walks around in the world. No matter who's your number 1 on your team, Freddy will always be shown walking. Actually, funnily enough, this is like the one of the last FNAF games to have Freddy as like the quote-unquote main character or like attraction. Obviously, there's still like some games that break this rule, but shh. Let me have this. Freddy's attacks consist of Mic Toss, Pizza Wheel, and Birthday, making him an actual like really good starting character. Birthday can be like really useful for buffs, Pizza Wheel is great for hitting like multiple targets, and Mic Toss, it's there, you know, it's a move. But as I said, he's a really good starting character, but not much past that. Once you're like mid to late game, you should really have him on your team anymore. But I will say, he is one of the last characters from the first 8 that I would remove from my team. So I'll give him that. For Freddy's loading screen, we can see it saying back to basics, which I think is super fitting for him, and honestly, I think it's like a perfect fit, honestly. Alright, well, I think I gotta get out of here. I don't think the GenericFNAFYouTuber YouTube channel on YouTube wants me here anymore, so see ya.
Alright, anyways. Bonnie is the second FNAF World character, with his attacks being Bite, Bash Jam, and Happy Jam, making him one of the most balanced characters in your starting party and arguably the strongest of the starting characters, being the most consistent and reliable of all the characters. Bonnie is also present in the Halloween minigame Foxy.exe. Bonnie's loading screen quote is Jammin'. Chica is the third FNAF World character and is the main healer of the game, sporting 3 separate healing abilities, the 3 moves being Cupcake, Party Favors, and Regen Song. Chica is arguably the worst character in the entire f***ing game. While healing is always nice, healing is not a unique trait with her, not to mention she doesn't have the best healing abilities, with Cupcake maybe being the only decent move she has. Would remove ASAP. Chica's loading screen quote is "Let's eat." Well, of course it is, you fat fuck. Foxy is the 4th FNAF World character. His attacks are Hook, Hot Cheese, and Jump Scare, with Jump Scare being a pretty decent move early game, and Hot Cheese not being the worst move if you want to deal extra damage over time. However, he's still only really good early game. Foxy is also present in the Foxy Fighters minigame as the playable character. No shit. Foxy's loading screen quote is "back in order." Toy Freddy is the 5th FNAF World character. His attacks are Mic Toss, Party Favors, and Speed Song. He is often considered the supporting character in the starting team, with Speed Song being arguably one of the better moves in the starting set. However, a few other characters have Speed Song, so he normally gets cast aside, although I have heard he has an underground following. I wonder who started that. Anyways, Toy Freddy's loading screen quote is "still Freddy, but shiny." Toy Bonnie is the 6th FNAF World character. His attacks are Bash Jam, Munchies, and Prize Ball. Toy Bonnie is a pure attacker, with Prize Ball being a randomizer. Again, he's an early game character, so he doesn't always stay for long, although he is definitely one of the more useful starting characters. Toy Bonnie's loading screen quote is "something new." Toy Chica is the 7th FNAF World character. Her attacks are Cupcake, Birthday, and Water Hose, making her the only starting character with an insta-kill move. She is often seen as a better Chica, although a bit situational. She is also present in the Foxy Fighters minigame, which is pretty hard to miss.
You won't get tired of my voice, will you? You won't get tired of my voice, will you? You won't get tired of my voice, will you? You won't get tired of my voice, will you? You won't get tired of my voice, will you?
Toy Chica's loading screen quote is "Let's party." Mangle is the 8th FNAF World character. Their attacks are Hook, Poppers, and Prize Ball, making them a weak character. However, Poppers can be useful, although they are a bit situational. However, they are only one of 2 characters who have Poppers, although the other character is way better. Pretty good early game character, but not much after. Mangle's loading screen quote is "kids can be so cruel." BB is the 9th FNAF World character and the first character that can be unlocked after encountering them and defeating them after a battle. Let's start with the chance to unlock BB in every area of the game, which is what you're seeing on screen now. Pause if you need to look through it. With this, Fazbear Hills is easily the best spot to go if you wish to unlock BB. His attacks are Balloons, Hot Cheese, and Munchies. These abilities make him pretty much on par with the starting characters, with Balloons being the only new ability, however they're still not that good. BB's loading screen quote is everyone's favourite. JJ is the 10th FNAF World character. Let's start with the chances to encounter them. Like BB, Fazbear Hills is the best place to find her, and is more likely than BB. Her attacks are Balloons, Poppers, and Unscrew, with being the first character with the ability Unscrew. She is definitely a better character than the starting characters, however she's still not that great. JJ is also present in the Foxy Fighters minigame, and she is also the first character to actually swear, although it was cut in the final game. JJ's loading screen quote is because 1 wasn't enough. 1 was too much. Phantom Freddy is the 11th FNAF World character and the first Phantom. Here are the chances of finding him in each world. Phantom Freddy actually has the highest chance to be found in Fazbear Hills at a whopping 29.62%. Phantom Freddy's attacks are Sludge, Rainy Day, and Gloom Song, making him the only character to only have debuff attacks, being the main debuffer in FNAF World. Also, fun fact, he's the only FNAF World character with purple attacks, but anyways. I have made a FNAF World ranking a while ago where I ranked Phantom Freddy at the number 48 spot, making him the worst character, and this is definitely not true. While I personally don't use him as much since I have more of a bash and dash approach, I can definitely see the use, and he's definitely one of the better characters, and one that I can see players using long term. However, I do think every ability he does have is used by better characters later on. Phantom Freddy's loading screen quote is "just taking a stroll." I'm assuming this is because he now has 2 legs. Very epic. Phantom Chica is the 12th FNAF World character and the second Phantom. Here are the chances to find her in each world. Phantom Chica is easily found most in Choppy's Woods. Her attacks are Toxic Bite, Sludge, and Unscrew. Phantom Chica is actually one of my favourite Phantoms since every attack is quite useful, even mid-game and possibly late game, but she's still not that strong overall. Phantom Chica's loading screen quote is "stop calling me a watermelon," and my answer to that is no. Phantom BB is the 13th FNAF World character. Here are the chances of finding him in each world. Phantom BB is most likely to be found in Choppy's Woods. His attacks are Gloom Balloon, Toxic Balloon, and Rainy Day, basically being Phantom Freddy, but with Toxic Balloon instead of Sludge, which in my opinion is not that much better. Phantom BB's loading screen quote is because reasons. Phantom Foxy is the 14th FNAF world character. Here are the chances to find him in each world. Phantom Foxy is a bit of an uncommon character, but you'll most likely find him in the Dusting Field, and is the last character who can be found in every single world. Phantom Foxy's attacks are Jump Scare, Toxic Bite, and Unscrew. He is definitely a pretty balanced early to mid-game character, and he does have his strengths, but overall is still not that good. Phantom Foxy's loading screen quote is because you can never have too much Foxy. Okay, well where the f was he in UCN? Phantom Mangle is the 15th FNAF world character. Here's the chance to find them in every single world. Dusting Field is the best place to find them, with their attacks being Toxic Bite, Mystery Box, and Pizza Wheel 2. Some of their attacks are pretty useful, with Pizza Wheel 2 dealing a decent amount of damage, while Toxic Bite is useful for dealing overall damage, while Mystery Box is okay. Phantom Mangle is an okay mid-game character, but not amazing. Phantom Mangle's loading screen quote is because he/she needed to be weirder. Withered Body is the 16th FNAF world character and is also the last of the 16 characters that can be unlocked by default in the fixed party mode playthrough. Here are the chances to find him in each world. Dusting Fields is not only the best place to find him, but also Withered Bonnie is the most common character to find in the Dusting Fields, but literally only by 0.01%. His attacks are I-Beam, Pizza Wheel, and Unscrew 2, with Unscrew 2 easily being one of the best moves he has. Withered Bonnie is a fantastic mid-game character and can even be more useful later game, with Unscrew 2 having a 2% chance to kill bosses. He is a great character and one of my personal favourites just to use for Unscrew 2. Withered Bonnie's loading screen quote is, just look at my eye. Withered Chica is the 17th FNAF world character, and here are the chances to find her in each world. She is the first character to only be found in the Dusting Fields and onwards, with Delicate Lake being the most common spot to find her. However, she's still quite uncommon. Her attacks are Bite, Cupcake, and Prize Ball 2, making her a relatively weak character. Withered Chica's loading screen quote is, what happened to Chica? Withered Freddy is the 18th FNAF world character. Here are the chances to find him. Lilygear Lake is your best bet to find him, although he is again quite uncommon. His attacks are Mic Toss, Gloom Song, and Escape Key, with him being the first character to possess it. Withered Freddy is kinda like a support character, with Escape Key having a chance to kill multiple enemies at once. However, I still think he is a really weak character overall. His loading screen quote is, because we need one more. Withered Foxy is the 19th FNAF world character, and here are his chances in each world. He is the last character that can be found in the Dusting Fields, although Lilygear Lake is still your best bet. His attacks are Hook, Rainy Day, and Hot Cheese 2, making him a relatively stronger version of normal Foxy. However, Rainy Day is definitely not as good as Jump Scare. However, I have a soft spot for him. His loading screen is still Foxy, but more Yarg. Shadow Freddy is the 20th FNAF world character, and here are the chances to find him in each world. If you're looking for Shadow Freddy, the Mysterious Mine is your best bet. However, he is still quite uncommon. His attacks are Unscrew, Escape Keys, and Water Hose, making him a randomizer attack with a bunch of insta-kill moves. And he's pretty much only good for runs where you need insta-kill moves, otherwise he's useless. His loading screen quote is, I will eat your soul. Puppet or Marionette is the 21st FNAF world character. Here are the chances to find him in each world. The Puppet is an uncommon character mainly found in the Mysterious Mine. Their attacks are Prize Ball 2, Mystery Box, and Escape Key, making them similar to Shadow Freddy with the randomness. Their loading screen quote is, think outside the box. Phantom Puppet or Phantom Marionette is the 22nd FNAF world character. Here are the chances to find them in each world. They have a similar chance to be found as the normal Puppet in the Mysterious Mine, still being the most common, and they are the last character that can be found in the Lilygear Lake. Their attacks are Jump Scare, Hot Cheese 2, and Mystery Box, making them on par with Withered Foxy in my opinion, but still not overly useful. Their loading screen quote is, put it back in the box. Golden Freddy is the 23rd FNAF world character and my personal favourite FNAF character, but anyways, here are the chances to find him in each world. The Black Tomb Yard is now your best bet to find him. His attacks are Jump Scare, Rainy Day 2, and Haunting. Haunting is a really good move, and Jump Scare and Rainy Day 2 provide decent mid-game support as well, making Golden Freddy an actually good character, who you could take as a support character. His loading screen quote is, it's me. Paper Pals are the 24th FNAF world character, being the only character made up of multiple characters, although you could argue Nightmare Freddy. Here are the chances to find him in each world. Black Tomb Yard is still your best bet, and their attacks are Prize Ball 2, Mystery Box 2, and Mimic Ball, making them an honestly pretty garbage character, with Mimic Ball being somewhat useful, but the other two just being random attacks. Their loading screen quote is, huh? No, I'm serious, that's the quote. Nightmare Freddy is the 25th FNAF World character, and here are the chances to find him in each world. The Black Tomb Yard is your best bet to find him, and he is the last character that can be found in the Mysterious Mine, with a 0.8% chance to find him now. Now here are his attacks: Bite 2, Sludge, and Freddles, with Freddles being one of my personal favourites. He is definitely one of the better characters to have in your party, with Sludge being an actually useful move like Freddles, making him a great mid to late game character. Nightmare Freddy's loading screen quote is, "The more the merrier." Nightmare Bonnie is the 26th FNAF World character. Here are the chances to find him in each world. The Deep Metal Mine is your best bet for this character. His attacks are Bite 2, Rainy Day 2, and Pizza World 2, being the king of twos and also a solid mid-game character, while I personally don't think he's all that great. His loading screen quote is, "Let's get mean." Nightmare Chica is the 27th FNAF World character. Here's where you'll find her. Once again, the Deep Metal Mine is the best spot for her. Her attacks are Bite 2, Bad Pizza, and Water Hose. She has some pretty good abilities, making her a fine addition to your party mid to late game, although not recommended on the final bosses. She's also the last character present in the Foxy Fighters minigame. Her loading screen quote is, "Making you a sandwich." Wait, is that because she's a woman? Scott Cawthon, you sexist Nightmare Foxy is the 28th FNAF World character, and here's the chance to find him. He is the last character that you can find in the Black Tomb Yard, with the Deep Metal Mine being your best bet. His attacks are Bite 2, Unscrew 2, and Hot Cheese 2, making him an actually pretty decent character mid to late game, and one of my top picks during the mid game. His quote for the loading screen is, "Out of order since FNAF 1. But didn't FNAF 4 come out before? Wait a minute. I solved FNAF. Endo01 is the 29th FNAF World character and can only be found in the following areas. Pinwheel Circus becomes your best bet, with his attacks being Power Song, Armor Song, and Endo Army, making him one of the best characters in the game in my opinion. Endo Army is a very strong move, and Power and Armor Song are great buffers for your team. He is also my personal favourite Endo, his loading screen quote being, "Because look at him." I won't lie, he is pretty cute. Endo02 is the 30th FNAF World character, and here's where you'll find him. Pinwheel Circus is again your best bet. His attacks are Speed Song, Endo Army, and Neon Wall, making him a very great character similar to Endo01, but with some slight advantages and disadvantages. Mainly Neon Wall, which is a great move, but if you have the auto shield chip, it's not that useful. However, Speed Song is an added bonus. Endo02's loading screen quote is, "Not as cute, but more useful." Well, I mean, I don't know about that. Plushtrap is the 31st FNAF World character, and here's where you'll find him. He is the last character you can find in the Deep Metal Mine, with him being most common in the Pinwheel Circus. His attacks are Toxic Bite, Bad Pizza, and Sludge, making him an honestly pretty mid character. Not a bad character, but not as useful in my opinion. His loading screen quote is, "Because the world needed a plush version." No, it did not. Endo Plush is the 32nd FNAF World character, and here's where you'll find him. His attacks are Neon Wall, Eye Beam, and Water Hose. He's also the smallest animatronic in FNAF World. However, he is not very useful, with Water Hose 2 being the only decent move, and fun fact, he's the only character with Water Hose 2. His character loading screen quote is, "Because character quota." So you add him but not with a Golden Freddy, what the f? Springtrap is the 33rd FNAF World character, and here's where you'll find him. He is most common in the true world, and his attacks are Bite 2, Springlocks, and Rainy Day. Springlocks is his best move, and it does a good job landing him in the decent character range. Not the best, but pretty good. His loading screen quote is, "Cuter in person, still a killer." RWQFSF. God damn, let me try that again. RWQFSFAXC, or Shadow Bonnie, as a normal person would call him, is the 34th FNAF World character, and you'll find him here. He is the last character you can find in the Pinwheel Circus, and his attacks are Haunting, Mimic Ball, and Gift Boxes, making him one of the best support characters in the entire game, since gift boxes just make you a god tier character. His loading screen quote is, "Say my name."
Now, say my name.
Crying Child is the 35th FNAF World character, and here's where you'll find him. His attacks are Power Song, Armor Song, and Gift Boxes, making him once again a fantastic support character. His loading screen quote is, "Still sad." Well, stop crying then. Funtime Foxy is the 36th FNAF World character, and here's where you'll find him. His attacks are Pappy Jam 2, Cosmic Song, and Gift Boxes, making him one of the best main characters in the game in my opinion, with Gift Boxes being OP, Happy Jam 2 being a great healing ability, and Cosmic Song doing amazing damage, even if it kills your bitrate. Overall, a fantastic character who is a must-have on your team. His loading screen quote is, "It wasn't meant to last." Nightmare Fredbear is the 37th FNAF world character, and here are the chances to find him in each world. He's the last character who can be found in the true world. His attacks are Mega Bite, Freddles, and Toxic Bite, making him a really great character for late game. His loading screen quote is, "Getting down to business." Nightmare is the 38th FNAF world character, and you'll find him in the Pinwheel Circus with a 1.15% chance to find him. His attacks are Toxic Bite 2, Rainy Day 2, and Mega Bite, making him a very awesome late game character. It is also one of the 3 rarest characters in the game to unlock. He is pretty good overall. His end screen quote is, "This is why you wake up." Fredbear is the 39th FNAF world character located in the Pinwheel Funhouse with a 0.77% chance to find him, making him the 2nd rarest character in the game. His attacks are Mega Bite, Regen Song, and Mimic Ball, making him a pretty good character, but not actually that good overall. However, if you make him the first character in your party and then you walk into a non-playable Fredbear character, you get the universe ending. His loading quote is, "This is where it all started." Spring Bonnie is the 40th and final main FNAF world character, and is the rarest character, with him only being found in the Pinwheel Funhouse with a 0.38% chance to find him. His attacks are Spring Locks, Happy Jam 2, and Cosmic Song, making them on par with Funtime Foxy, but with Spring Locks instead of gift boxes, which isn't as good, but still a great move. His loading screen quote is, "Male, female, it's a rabbit, who cares?" And that is every character in FNAF World. Well, every main character. But let's discuss the secret characters. Well, I guess the DLC stuff. The rest of the game, you know what I'm talking about. So now that we have covered all the main characters and the main game, let's discuss the Halloween update and all the minigames and the characters you win for beating the games and what they do. So the first thing to discuss is actually accessing the Halloween area, of which there are 2 main ways of accessing it. The first way is by talking to the desk man after completing one of the main endings, and Fredbear will open a portal to take you there. Or the more sane way, you can access the area at the beginning of the game. Simply walk to this spot in Fazbear Hills, northwest of the windmill between the 2 rocks. Walk into the tree from the left and clip into it, and walk left and down to reach the area. This spawns the player in the area, as well as places the player near the portal to go back to Fazbear Hills. There are 4 minigames located throughout the area, so let's start with Foxy.exe. Foxy.exe is the most simple of all the minigames. Playing as Bonnie, you progress through multiple stages with Foxy giving the player hints on how to progress. Succeed and you will unlock Nightmare On, who I'll explain how they work later. This minigame has 3 stages. To start stage 1, you need to click on the Foxy.exe image on the computer screen that will appear when you start the game. Doing this will begin the actual minigame. In all stages, you need to move Bonnie from the left to the far right of the screen to complete the area. Stage 1 is the most simple, as you just need to walk to the right side of the screen with no threat at all, except for Foxy, who will repeat the following line. "Listen to my voice." Stage 2 is the first stage where you can get damaged. Every time you get touched or damaged, Withered Foxy will jump scare you. If this happens 3 times, you will lose the minigame. In stage 2, Withered Foxy will say the following. "We can see, how fast can you flee?" During this section, you need to avoid Withered Freddy, who will appear in your path, and you need to turn and walk in the other direction without touching him. Withered Freddy's spawning pattern is based off your movement, so touching the key for about a second and letting go will make Withered Freddy never spawn. Stage 3 has Withered Foxy saying this. "Be sure your step through the heart of madness." During this stage, you need to deal with the kitten. At certain points, the kitten will appear and start moving towards the player. There are certain places where the player can hide from the kitten. There are a total of 4 kittens you need to avoid. Upon completing stage 3, you win the game. Now onto Nightmare On. Nightmare On has the attacks Prize Ball 2, Bubble Breath, and 4th Wall, making him a very good character, especially considering how easy he is to get. Nightmare On's loading screen text is, "I'm taller in person." The next minigame we are going to be covering is Foxy Fighters, which is quite scripted, so I will only be talking about the players, abilities, and enemies. So starting with the player has 30 health and does a base damage of 1 damage per shot, with the other 3 guns being the shotgun, the M16, and the laser, with the laser being the best gun by far, dealing 30 damage per shot, while the other guns only do 1 damage. Now onto the enemies, starting with the Mech Crab, with it having 2 health and dealing 1 damage. The Gear Rat has 9 health and deals 1 damage. The Chop and Roll has 61 health and deals 1 damage. Finally, Soul Dozer, the final boss, who you need to defeat to win the game, has 2001 health and also deals 1 damage per hit. To win the minigame, you need to kill Soldozer. Afterwards, you get a rank. If you get a C or B rank, you will unlock Jacko Chica, and you unlock Nightmare BB with an A rank. To get an A rank, you need to reach a score of 175, which is total kills plus total health remaining, meaning you need 25 health by the end, so you can only get hit 5 times. Jacko Chica has the attacks Haunting, Jacko Bomb, and Buzzsaw, making her a really powerful character. Her loading screen quote is feeling empty inside. Nightmare BB has the abilities Megabite, Bubble Breath, and Balloons 2, making him the only character with Balloons 2 and a pretty great character to use as well. His loading screen quote is some things can't be made cute. The next minigame is FNAF 57 Freddy in Space. This game is easily the most complicated out of all the Halloween minigames, so bear with me on this one. So first, the player, who has 100 health and deals 1 damage with each cupcake you can collect, adding 1 to that total damage you do. There are 9 total locations for the cupcake, and I'm going to show them on screen now. Now, let's move on to the enemies. Starting with the wind-up mouse, it has 6 health and deals 5 damage if you touch it. The large robot has 8 health and deals 3 damage with its projectile shot and 10 damage with contact damage. The laser will deal 3 damage per hit and cannot be killed. The security camera has 3 health and deals 3 damage with every projectile hit and 5 damage for contact damage. Flan-like enemy, yes that's its name, has 4 health and deals 3 damage per projectile hit and 5 damage per contact hit. The Blob, aka the most annoying enemy in Freddy in Space and probably FNAF World as a whole, has 4 health and deals 5 damage per hit. The Tentacle has 7 health and deals 10 damage per hit. The Floating Laser has 11 health, deals 3 health with projectile damage, and 5 damage per contact. The Giant Metal Man has 200 health and deals 3 hearts per projectile hit and 10 hearts per contact hit. Finally, the boss, Scott's head. No, I'm not kidding. Scott has 1001 health and deals 3 damage per projectile hit and 10 damage if you touch him. There are 3 rankings for this game. The first one is achieved by getting every single cupcake upgrade during the minigame, which will give you Purple Guy. Getting some of the upgrades will get you Jacko Bonnie, and beating the minigame without collecting a single cupcake upgrade will get you Coffee. Purple Guy has Speed Song, Slasher, and Hocus Pocus, making him the weakest of the Halloween characters. His loading screen quote is, I draw in 10 seconds. Jacko Bonnie has Haunting, Jacko Bomb, and Slasher, making him a very powerful character. His loading screen quote is, not canon, but still here. Coffee has the abilities Gift Boxes, Mega Virus, and Neon Wall 2, making him one of the best defensive characters in the game. His loading screen quote is, time for a coffee break. The last minigame is the Chica's Magic Rainbow, which I cannot wrap my head around, so I'm gonna actually ask someone to help me.
Hello, my name is Bartlett Cloudy, and I'm here to talk to you about Chica's Magic Rainbow. Now, this game is pretty well known for being, you know, the shitty rage bait game of FNAF World that no one really likes. But I'm here to tell you how it works, just to make it a little easier for you. This minigame is divided up into a bunch of different sections. First one is nothing, but then we come across the next section, and this is where we are introduced to kind of like the main mechanic of this minigame, which is triggers. So just imagine there is an invisible wall somewhere along here, and as soon as you touch that wall, that's when the attack or whatever will trigger. So if I walk about into the middle in between these flowers here, then I will hit the trigger and the flowers will shoot their petals. This next area is pretty much the exact same. It's just, you know, a bunch of triggers. Except for this trigger is like right next to the flower here. Same goes for this one. You know, it's like right next to this flower here. So I'm standing pretty much right next to it. There you go. This trigger is like pretty much right at the end here. So there's another trigger here that you have to dodge, but it's a bit harder sometimes. Now, this is the next attack pattern that we have to deal with, where the rainbow will start shooting rainbows at you. I know, big scary. So as soon as you start walking forward, there's another trigger, you know, very common trend with this minigame, triggers, where if you just start walking forward,
Come on, you can do it!
it'll start shooting rainbows at you. Kind of just inch forward if you're taking your time with it. And it'll end after a bit, but in this run, there is another one about at this next flower here, so just be careful of that. And then this flower's here, there's another trigger, the flower will shoot at you. Trigger is about like right on the white flower. Next is my personal favorites, butterflies. So butterflies have a very specific attack pattern. 2 forward, 2 back, and then 4 forward, and then 2 back, 2 forward, and then 4 back. And then they repeat that over and over again while shooting their lasers. Now, personally, this is my least favorite, level. But also, halfway through the level, the rainbow will start shooting its rainbows at you again. Now, just so long as you take your time with the rainbow, it'll be nice and... Just so long as you take your time with the rainbow, you shouldn't have any issues. Now, this next one introduces another attack strategy, where it's the logs. So logs will either shoot up from below or above you. And that, of course, only happens when you hit a specific wall trigger. Because of course it does, like everything in this goddamn minigame. So the first one on this level is underneath you, and it's pretty much at the beginning. You just want to jump over it, just as high as you can go. The next one is actually right on top of the tip of the flower. So you will kind of go forward and then backwards in order to trigger it. And then the next one is immediately after as well. And that should be it for this level. Next one will introduce the rainbow and also the log triggers. So first things first, as soon as you hit this first flower here...
Is this your first time playing a video game?
As soon as you hit this first flower here, that is when the rainbow will trigger. Cat, back up.
Keep up the good work, sport.
Ignore that. Then you want to stop very shortly, because on that 4th flower there, pretty much in between the 4th and 5th flower is the next trigger. So you want to jump and go over it. And then don't go too far, because then there's another trigger of a log coming down this time. Just walk forward. And there it is. Next one is immediately after again. You gotta jump over it. Now, you're not in the all clear yet because there's one at the very end. Just jump over it and you should be good. Now, this is the new type of log trigger one, where now, as soon as we hit a trigger, there will be logs that will shoot at us instead. So what we want to do for this first one is we want to hit the trigger. As soon as we hear that noise, that is the indicator that it's coming. And if you're fast enough, you should be able to just hop on this platform and hop over, and it should be good. Next one is a bit trickier because it combines a pop-up log with logs coming at you. The trick I found for this one is, since the trigger is like right after the first flower, if you jump on the flower here, this flower I'm standing at, while running, you should be able to perfectly outmaneuver the log and the log. All the logs. So let's put that in practice. And as long as you're holding the jump button, you should be able to soar over all that. Now, you're not out of the clear yet, because unfortunately, there is another log wall trigger. So for this one, you want to be on top of the platform and kind of jump over the trigger. And that's the only real way to get over safely, otherwise you will die. Now, this is the final level. Unfortunately, the worst one as well, because it is eyeballs. And eyeballs don't necessarily have a trigger. They just keep spawning in about every second, and you just have to outmaneuver them. Now, on your way, you will actually encounter some of the stuff that we've already done before, which is log triggers. There's one right at the beginning, and another one immediately after. And a trick that I learned is jumping to kind of lure the eyeballs away from you is a very good trick to just, outmaneuver the eyeballs. And then once we get over here, there's one more log trigger, and also a flower trigger. You just gotta be careful of that, and don't die like I did. And as soon as you touch the end is a giant trigger, so you can jump at and hit the trigger at any point on that wall. As long as you hit the end, you win. And since that was, like 12 minutes, we got Scott. But if you were to get it under 3 minutes, you would get Chipper. And that is the basics of how Chica's Magic Rainbow works. I hope this was a little bit more helpful.
Now that we've discussed how to win the minigame, let's discuss the characters you can win. Completing the game in under 3 minutes will get you Chipper, while any other situation will get you Scott. Scott Cawthon, or as he's called in the game, Anim Dude, has Neon Wall, Mega Virus, and Fourth Wall, making him one of the most powerful characters in FNAF World. His loading screen quote is, "I'm the one pulling the strings." Chipper is the last Halloween character with the attacks Mimic Ball, Buzzsaw, and Hocus Pocus, making him not an amazing character. His loading screen quote is, "A chip off the block." And with that, we have pretty much covered everything except the last Halloween section, which is the Geist Lair. However, I will discuss this in the ending section, which, speaking of, so to end the video, I will go over every single ending and a general guide on how to progress. I will start with the normal endings and move out to the more extreme endings, and ending the video with the hardest ending in the entire game. So, let's get into it. But first, let's discuss Deskman. Deskman is a character who is accessed through one of the houses in Fazbear Hills, and depending on which ending you achieve, he will have special dialogue for you. Mainly the normal/hard mode ending and Chica's Magic Rainbow. But anyways, let's discuss the endings now. The normal mode ending is the main story, and this will be the main guy, only explaining where to actually go to beat the game, since I don't want to spoil certain things. Starting with Fazbear Hills, go down to where Fredbear is and enter the glitch object and enter Choppy's Woods. From there, progress through Dusting Fields until you reach Bouncer and defeat them, and enter the glitch object and go through that subtunnel. Find the glitchy tree to enter the subsection and enter Lilygear Lake. From there, go up to the top of Choppy's Woods through Lilygear Lake and go down to enter the glitchy tree. Don't go through the first exit you see and enter Black Tomb Yard. Enter the Deep Metal Mine at the south of the Black Tomb Yard, go down until you find the glitchy tombstone, navigate through the 3 subtunnels until you reach the Pinwheel Circus. Then defeat Browboy and enter the first green tent on the right to enter the Pinwheel Funhouse. Once entered, enter the first tent on the right, phase through the wall to the tombstone, and fight Bubba. Afterwards, walk through the tent and walk all the way to the end and walk through the wall. Go down, talk to Fredbear, and enter the final subtunnel. Navigate your way through there and be careful, as this is the only time you can enter the forbidden 4th layer. Afterwards, you will spawn in front of Pork Patch, defeat him to find the key, and hit the 5 buttons around the map which are located in the following locations. The first lock is the northeast of the Fazbear Hills, just outside town. The second lock is in the southwest corner of the Dusting Fields. You will need to face a boss to get through here. You'll fight Snowcone. The fourth lock is in the far northeast of Lilygear Lake. It's of course guarded by an invisible enemy known as Supergoon. The fifth and final lock is found in the Deep Metal Mine. Head east from the entrance and explore the northeast to find the lock. This button is guarded by an overclock. After you have done all of this, the gate to the security boss will open. Defeat them and enter the tent to get the ending, which will also get you the security trophy on the title screen for completing. Now let's move on to the other modes. The hard mode is actually the exact same as the normal ending, except that after being security, when you enter the tent, you will then warp to the final Scott Cawthon fight. Beat Scott to beat the game. Beating this will get you the Einem Dude trophy on the title screen. So now we've done the 2 main endings, let's now move on to the more complicated endings. The 4th glitch ending is unlocked when going down more than 3 levels in the subtunnel world. There is only one area where this is actually possible, which is the glitch after the Bubba fight. Proceed until you reach the 3rd subtunnel, then go up, and right until you reach a corner, which pressing down reveals a false wall and the 4th layer. You will meet Old Man Consequences and the ending will be achieved. You get the 4th glitch trophy for getting this ending. And you can actually get a secret 2nd ending here by drowning in the lake, which will also get you the same trophy. The universe ending is the most goofy. You just need to meet the Fredbear NPC while having Fredbear equipped as your party leader, resulting in this. Doing this unlocks the Universe End trophy. The Chipper's Revenge ending can be unlocked after getting the key from Pork Patch. Located in the northernmost area of Choppy's Woods, which is accessed through Lilygear Lake, you need to make your way through this spot here in the mysterious mine. And from there you'll access the Chipper's Revenge boss. Defeat him for some dialogue and you will get the Chipper's Revenge trophy. Now we have probably the most complicated ending in the entire game. This is a secret ending that is unlocked by gathering all the clock pieces and solving their puzzles. To start this ending, you need to talk to the first storyline Fredbear at the start of the game, and then wait until you see the Done button. Instead of clicking it, wait for a few seconds in which Fredbear will transform into his 8-bit form and allude to darker things. This is one of the most strict endings in the entire game, as messing anything up will soft lock you from getting the ending. So listen to everything that you need to do and do exactly as I tell you. The first step, the Fredbear at the beginning of the game will open the quest. Find the next Fredbear to enter the first glitch object. The next threadbare will tell you to find the clock before proceeding to the first glitch object. The first clock is located in the southeast of Fazbear Hills. To solve the game here, the player must push the BB into the box. After the timer ticks down, the player will be transported back to where they came before. Continue until finding the next threadbare. The next threadbare is in Choppy's Woods and will tell the player to find the clock in the dusting field, which is located near Lolbit. The second game has the player light up 4 buttons by touching them. Continue to the next threadbare. The next threadbare will tell the player to enter the mine before entering the next glitch item. Defeat Bouncer and continue to the mysterious mine entrance on the northern side of the dusting fields. The third clock is found by going straight under the first set of boards, turning left and going down. They can be solved by pushing all 4 cupcakes into the boxes. Find the next threadbare. The fourth clock is located in the mysterious mine through the entrance of the northernmost center of the map. The player will be presented with another game. To properly set this clock, the code 395248, which appears by touching the center button, must be displayed before the counter runs out. Find the next threadbare. The next threadbare, which is in Blacktomb Yard, will tell the player to go to the Pinball Funhouse. Find the next threadbare. The one after that will tell the player to continue into the funhouse. After the fight with Browboy, the player must wander into the funhouse until they get to a wooded area with the clock easily visible. The game here is to push Shadow Bonnie into the box. Find the next threadbare past the bubble fight. This is the last threadbare for this route. He will tell the player to ignore the Guardians and find the key. However, it seems irrelevant on whether or not the player kills the Guardians. You can literally just continue as normal. Then, if all the clocks are set right, the way through will appear. The player must defeat Porkpatch to get the key. Then, they must travel to Choppy's Woods area via the northern west of the Litigator Lake. There, they will find a key block, and if they have set all the clocks correctly, a warp circle appears behind it. Upon entering the circle, you will get this ending. Upon completing this ending, you get the Crying Child trophy, and this is also considered the true ending of the game. And now we get to discuss the final ending and final part of this video, the Chica's Magic Rainbow ending. Arguably the hardest ending. Well, that's not really true. That was the last ending we just discussed, but this is the hardest boss in the entire game. So let's discuss what to do. Once you enter the Geist Lair, you need to navigate to the purple guy's enemy at the top here. Once you get here, you will have to fight Chica's Magic Rainbow, who you need to beat in 3 minutes. While in this area, be sure you have someone in your party with Bubble Breath, which will protect you against the toxic air effect. Using Slasher will probably be your best bet in defeating the rainbow. After you've defeated the rainbow, you will get the final bit of dialogue from Deskman, revealing Baby, and being the final piece of FNAF World. Oh, and you get the rainbow trophy. And with that, we have covered every single part of FNAF World. This was an extremely long video to make. Apologies for the lack of uploads. This took it out of me, among other things. However, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you've made it this long in the video and haven't subscribed, I really think you should. I'm personally thanking every single subscriber at 100k, and I would love to see you all there. Thank you to everyone who helped to make this video, and thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.